So another basic part ng Excel ay yung mga array formula. Array formula is a formula that can perform multiple calculations and then return either a single result or multiple results. Array formulas act on two or more sets of values known as array arguments. Each array argument must have the same number of rows and columns. Okay, for example, the built-in leanness returns two results which are slope and y-intercept. This function gives linear regression lines that fit with the known x and y values. Okay, so yung mga array formula natin, basically, these are formula that that involves array arguments. So yung array arguments, you can think about it as a set, range of cell. Okay? Range of cell siya like this one. For example, meron tayong coordinates dito. This is the x coordinates and then ito yung mga y coordinates. Okay? And then if ever we want to uh to uh to compute, for example, the corresponding slope and the y-intercept of this given set of coordinates, we can use an array formula like yung leanness. Okay? Leanness or lineness, kung ano naman ang tamang pronunciation dyan. Okay? So, how do we use that? How do we use that array formula? Paano natin to nakuha? Yung itong result dito. Okay? So, yung from the analytic geometry, we know na yung equation of a line is simply y is equal to mx plus b. Mx plus b. Right? Wherein yung m natin dyan, yan yung slope ng line. And then yung b, yun yung y-intercept. And then yung x and y, yun yung mga corresponding coordinates, which are this nga. Okay? Ngayon, if you want to fit a line or linear regression line between these points, kasi itong mga points na to, not necessarily ano naman to lying on the same line Kumbaga pag ginraph mo to, hindi naman to talaga lying on the same line. Okay? So, what we can do here is just fit a line or a linear regression line that will fit this given x and y coordinates. Okay? And then, if you want to find the slope, which is yung m dito, tsaka yung y-intercept, which is yung b, for that linear regression line, we can simply use yung array formula ng Excel, which is yung leanness or lineness nga. So, how to use lineness? So, I'll just try to copy muna to somewhere here. Let's try to copy that somewhere here. Yan. So, yan yung result. Yan dapat yung result na makukuha natin. Okay. So, how do I get that or those values? If you want to get the corresponding slope of that regression line from this x and y coordinates, of course, you can always use statistics para makagawa ka ng regression line. Or simply use the array formula ng Excel, which is yung lineness nga. So, the formula for that lineness is simply lineness or leanness, kung ano mang basa dyan. Okay? So, to use that formula or function, you just have to press equals muna. Equals and then type lineness. Ayan. Pag nagtatype ka naman, automatic may mga inaano na siya dito Kumbaga may mga recommended na siya na function, na built-in function. So makikita mo agad dito yung leanness or lineness. Tapos meron siya agad description. Sabi niya dito, returns statistics that describe a linear trend matching known data points by fitting a straight line using the least squares method. Okay? So nag-fit siya ng line sa set of points and yung nire-return nitong formula na to ng lineness or leanness are yung slope tsaka yung intercept. So, pwede mong i-type na lang ng buo yung formula tapos lagyan mo ng quantity or open parenthesis. Pwede mong i-type ng ganyan. Or pwede rin naman, pag lumabas na yung formula, double-click mo na lang doon. Yan, para automatic mapunta ka dun sa formula. And then pag pinlik mo naman yung formula, meron naman siyang mga description dito. Yan, like this. I-type mo raw yung known ys, y coordinates. So pwede mong i-type isa-isa or mas maganda, syempre since we are dealing with an array, highlight na lang natin siya. Starting with this, pwede mo siyang i-right click lang, tapos drag down mo na lang. So right click natin siya. Medyo malikot lang yung mouse ko. Right click tapos drag down. Pwedeng ganon. Or pwede rin naman if you are using the keypad ng laptop, double click mo na lang tapos i-drag down mo na lang. Okay? So yan, na-highlight na natin yung mga known ys or y coordinates. And then lagyan mo na lang ng comma. Tapos highlight mo naman daw yung known x coordinates. So ganun lang ulit. Drag down. Yan. Okay? And then, eto yung mga nasa dulo, fill up mo na lang din. P set, is it equal to 0 ba? Or B is calculated normally? Kasi you can set the B, the y-intercept to equal to 0. And then the m values are adjusted to fit y is equal to mx. So pwede mong i-force na yung equation na i-fit mo dito is just y is equal to mx yung form. Pwedeng ganon. But since gusto nating makita yung y coordinate talaga or yung y-intercept, we can just choose this, yung true. So click mo lang yon or double click or simply click. Hindi, double click. Double click. Yun, lalabas na yon. And then comma ulit. And then ano mo na lang dito, fill up mo na lang din. Sabi niya, true return additional regression statistics. Returns the additional regression statistics or do not return additional regression statistics. Okay, so yung false na yon returns only the m coefficients and the constant b. Okay, so in this case, ang gusto lang natin makita is yung m tsaka yung b, yung y-intercept. So kahit ito na lang, double click that. And then you can just simply enter. And then yun na. Lalabas na agad yung slope, which is yung m dito. Tapos yung corresponding y-intercept nung line na finite natin dito sa set of coordinates na to. Okay, so makikita nyo same lang yung nakuha natin dyan dito sa na-compute ko before. Negative 1.204 tsaka 0.537. Yeah. Okay. So that lineness or leanness function is as an example of an array formula. We are dealing with a set of array or array arguments, which are this tsaka ito. So ang ginagawa ni Excel dyan, Excel is doing a certain calculation with respect dito sa array na to tsaka sa array na to. Okay. And again, one example of that array calculation or array formula is yung leanness or lineness. Okay? Sa mga later version ng Excel, especially the Excel that I am using right now, whenever you are dealing with an array formula, you can just simply press equals. Enter. Okay? So like what you have seen a while ago, nung tinype ko yung formula na to, what I did was I just press enter and then automatic na fill up tong dalawang cell na to. Sa mga earlier version ng Excel, it is not as simple as that. Okay? Kasi sa mga previous version ng Excel, hindi mo siya basta pwedeng i-enter lang. Okay? Sa mga previous version ng Excel, what you have to do is press control, tapos shift, tapos enter. Okay? So if you are using an earlier version of Excel, kunyari yung sa Windows 7, maybe pag pinype mo na tong formula na to, tapos in-enter mo, maybe magkakaroon ka ng some error doon. Kasi that is not how array formula works sa mga previous version ng Excel. Okay, sa mga previous version ng Excel, what you have to do is kailangan i-highlight mo muna yung cells or cells, definitely cells, kailangan i-highlight mo muna yung cells kung saan mo gustong i-paste or ma-return yung value na gusto mong makuha. Okay? Tapos type the formula like what we did a while ago. And then you have to press control, tapos sabay mong i-press yung shift, tapos saka mo i-press yung enter. Okay? But that is for the earlier versions lang earlier versions lang ng Excel. Yung mga yung mga later versions like this one, yung what I am using right now, uh, you can just simply press enter and then okay na. Mababasa na yun ni Excel. Magkakaunawaan na kayo ni Excel. Okay. To display values returned by Linus or Linus function, select the range or the two columns where you want to return the values and then make Linus formula and then control shift enter. Yun yung binabanggit ko kanina. Yan yung sa earlier versions earlier versions. Kailangan mo pang i-highlight bago mo i-type yung formula tapos pag okay na, control shift enter. So earlier versions yan. Sa newer versions, sa later versions, press equals lang and then type the formula and then kahit enter mo lang. Okay? Other uh, other example of an array formula is yung trend. Okay, like this one. Yung nakuha nating result dito. I'll just copy paste ulit to somewhere here para ma-compare lang natin yung makuha nating result. Okay? And then I'll try to remove this. Okay, so what we can do here is we can use yung another array formula which is yung trend. Press equals lang natin dito and then type trend. Or kahit di mo siya buuin, may lalabas na ganito na may description. Returns numbers in a linear trend matching known data points using the least squares method. Similar dito sa ginamit natin dito. Okay, pero kumbaga ibang function naman to compare dito. Kasi ang binibigay niya lang dito is yung mga mismong values in a linear trend. Okay? So, double click mo na lang to and then lalabas na to. So, fill up mo na lang yan. Known YS daw muna yung i-highlight natin, which is this. So, ang i-highlight ko lang dito hanggang dito lang sa fifth ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Pang fifth na coordinate. Okay, tapos press comma and then highlight mo ulit yung excess naman. And then, pwede mong i-fill up pa to yung mga next. Yan, may mga next pa kasi dito na kailangan mo i-fill up. Pwede namang i-fill up mo na yan or you can just press enter na right now. And then, ma-fill up na yung 5 values dito that will return the corresponding values from a trend from your given or highlighted coordinates. Okay? So as you can see here, pares naman yung lumabas. Negative 1.7, negative 1, 1 point. Ito, naka-ano lang kasi to. Kumbaga, naka 2 decimal lang. 2.4, 3.8, yeah. So naka-decimal lang siya dito. Naka 1 decimal lang. Naka 1 decimal siya lang dito yung result natin. Kaya naka-rounded off siya. Rounded off so to the 1 decimal place siya yung lumabas na sagot. Okay, so that is another example of an array formula. Okay, another example of an array formula is yung sum function. Okay, so i-highlight ko lang ulit tapos paste ko dito so that we can compare later on. Yung sum function, just press equals and then type sum. Yan, may lalabas naman na dito agad. You can just double click that or pwede naman lagyan mo na agad ng open parenthesis dito. And then lalabas na to yung mga kailangan mong i-input. So i-highlight daw natin yung number 1 na gusto nating i-add. So pwede mong gawin dyan is yeah. So ang pwede mong gawin dito is pwede mong manu-manuhin. Pwede mong gawin ito plus nito Or I mean, ito, tapos comma, tapos ito, comma, ito, and so on and so forth. Pwedeng ganun. Ang gagawin na ni Excel dyan, i-add niya na tong tatlong number na to. Pero that defeats the purpose of sum kasi nga ang gamit ng sum usually is para mabilis mo nang makompute yung sum ng mga cell ranges na hindi mo na sila kailangan isa-isahin. Okay? So what we can do here is we can just like for example, gusto natin kunin yung sum ng mga x. What we can do here is press equal and then sum and then we can just simply highlight them. Yan. And then enter. And then that's it. Makuha mo na yung sum ng mga x coordinate dito. Or meron din tayong shortcut doon. You can just press alt equals and then automatic i-highlight na ni Excel yung buong cell range above the cell kung nasaan nakalagay yung active cell mo. Just press enter and then kukunin niya na agad yung sum ng mga data na yun. Okay? But hindi lang limited doon yung function ni Excel. I mean ni sum function, hindi lang siya restricted to that type of summation. Okay? Pwede mo ring gamitin yung sum function if you want to add an array of formulas. I mean, an array arguments. Okay? Like for example, gusto natin etong dalawang to i-add dito sa dalawang to. Like a matrix. Kung familiar kayo sa matrix addition, this is just a 2 by 1 matrix and we want to add it for example dito sa 2 by 1 na matrix na to. Okay? By simple matrix, what we can do is ang mangyayari lang doon, ang gagawin lang natin kung magma-manual calculation tayo ng 2 by 1 matrix. What we will do there is add lang to plus this and that's it. Yan yung nasa unang cell ng sum matrix natin. And then do the same thing dito sa bottom niya. Okay, yan yung kalalabasan ng matrix natin if ever. Okay? But what we can do here is we can just simply do that calculation using an array. Okay? Like for example, press equals lang and then highlight this and then press plus and then highlight this and then equals and then that's it. So, automatic na lalabas yung sum ng mga array arguments natin without mano-manong pag-highlight or pag-add katulad nung ginawa natin dito. Okay? Also, we can do multiple operations using the sum function. Okay? Like for example, we want to multiply. Actually, hindi na to sum, kundi multiply na to. This is actually multiply. For example, we want to multiply the values here to the values here. Okay? So what we can do is we can just and then after multiplying them, for example, we want to multiply this value to this value. And then after multiplying, we want to get their corresponding sum. So ano yan, multiple operations tayo yung gusto nating mangyari. We can actually use pa rin yung sum function. So basically sum pa rin. Nagamit pa rin natin yung sum eh. So what we can do here is press equals and then type yung sum and then highlight ito. And then multiply. Yung multiply natin sa Excel is asterisk. And then highlight mo yung kung saan mo siya i-multiply and then you can just press enter. And then lalabas na yung sum of their product. Okay? So we have done their multiple operations in one formula lang. So pwede mong gamitin yon in an array formula. So 5 yung lumabas dyan kasi ganito yung ginawa ni Excel dyan. What Excel did there is minultiply niya to dito Tapos, ganun din yung ginawa niya dito. Minultiply niya yan dito. And then, inat ni Excel yung yung sum ng dalawang result na yun. Okay? So makikita nyo ang labas na result 5 which is the same as what we have here. Okay? You can uh, you can use that. You can use that array formula when dealing with an array or a set of values or cells dito sa Excel. Okay? So dito naman, we can also use another function ni Excel which is yung index. Index returns a value in a table. Usually in a table. Okay, like for example dito, dito sa table natin na to, we have two columns here sa table na to. This is the first column and then this is the second column. Okay? If you want Excel to return only the slope, for example, we can just simply use the index formula. Okay? So paano gamitin 'yon? Paano gamitin yung index formula? Para lang ang i-return lang ni Excel is yung slope lang, for example. If we will be using linear. Okay? Kasi pag ginamit natin yung linear or linear like this, yung formula na to, automatic, makikita nyo yung ginagawa ni Excel is ganito. So, i-repeat ko lang yung linear na function natin. Pag pinress ko yung enter, agad-agad dalawa yung binibigay ni Excel na values. Slope tsaka yung y-intercept. Kung gusto natin slope lang yung ipakita niya, we can use index. Dagdagan natin siya dito. We can type index, ganyan. And then, we can specify kung anong pangilang column, for example pangilang column yung gusto nating i-return ni Excel. Okay? So just like what I said before, meron tayong dalawang column dito. Column of slope tsaka column of y-intercept. Yung column of slope, that is the first column. And then yung yung y-intercept, that is the second column. Okay? So kung gusto nating i-return lang is yung slope lang, we can use index. Yan. Lagyan lang natin siya ng index sa harapan. And then, lagyan lang natin ng comma. And then, press 1. Ibig sabihin lang yan, we want Excel to return the value on the first row, first column, I mean. Okay? So, pag pinress natin yan, makikita nyo, nawala na yung y-intercept. Ano na lang yung binigay ni Excel? Yung slope na lang. Kasi ni-specify natin na we just want Excel to return the value on the first column, which is this nga, yung lalabas dito. We can do the same sa y-intercept. So we can, actually we can just copy the formula here. Control C. And then Control V dito. And then modify mo na lang yung 1. Palitan mo na lang siya ng 2. Sabihin lang nun, ang gusto naman namang ipakita ni Excel dito ay yung value sa second column. Press enter and then yun. Re-return lang ni Excel yung value sa second column. So that is how you use index. Okay? So all of those are part of an array formula. Next is yung data formatting. Data and cells formatting can be done through the Home tab and then format cells. And then format and then cells. Okay, so you can just go dito sa Home tab and then punta ka lang sa format. Home tab, tapos yung format, ito, and then cells. Ito, format cells. Okay, kung gusto mo lang i-format yung mga cells. Okay, so if you will try to click that, Nag not na responding lang saglit. So if you will try to click that, ito yung lalabas, yung dialog box na to, which is composed of several tab, starting with this, yung number. So yung under number, maraming mga category dyan, general, number, currency, accounting, data, time, etc. etc. Yung mga iba't ibang data type. Okay? So, pwede mong i-format yung cell mo with respect to these different categories. Okay? And then yung alignment ng mga cell mo, pwede mo rin siyang i-modify dito sa format cells. Pwede mong i-specify kung ano yung gusto mong itsura ng text alignment niya with respect sa horizontal, naka-left indent ba, center, right indent, fill, justify, etc. etc. Or with respect sa vertical, anong gusto mo na? Gusto mo ba nasa top yung ano mo, yung text mo, center, bottom, distributed, etc. etc. Okay? As well as yung text control natin, pwede mong i-shrink to fit yung cell mo. I-shrink mo yung data mo, i-shrink mo to fit the cell. Or pwede rin mo rin na i-merge yung cells or i-wrap yung text. Okay, as well as yung direction ng text mo, pwede mong baguhin. Normally, left to right siya, pero pwede mo rin palitan right to left. As well as yung orientation ng text mo. So normally, ang orientation ng text po horizontal or 0 degrees. Pero pwede mong palitan yan. You can just double click this. Yung nakalagay dito. Double click mo lang, tapos pwede mong i-drag yan. Kung anong angle ng text yung gusto mo. Depende na lang sa'yo. Kung gusto mo nakapatay yung ganyan, edi i-drag mo pa ganyan. Or negative 90 degrees. Kung gusto mo nakapaganon, that is 90 degrees. Okay? Kung gusto mo naka-incline, ayan, mga certain degree. Okay? And then, pwede mo rin palitan yung font ng laman ng cell mo. Pwede mo palitan yung font style, ito, or yung mismong font, or yung mismong size nung laman ng cell mo. Pwede mong lakyan, pwede mong litan. And then, yung color niya, normally black yung color ng laman ng cell. Pwede mo rin siyang i-underline or lagyan ng mga effects na strike through like this. Yan, magkakaroon siya ng parang line. Yun yung strike through na effect. Pwede mo rin gawing superscript. Pwede mo rin gawing subscript yung laman ng cell mo. So, it depends on you. And then yung border, pwede mo rin lagyan ng border yung mga cell mo. Mayroon dito mga iba't ibang style as well as yung color ng border. Tapos, kumbaga yung presets ng border mo. Kung ano lang yung part ng cell na may border, yung top lang ba, bottom, left, right, etc. etc. You can also put a background color sa cell mo dito sa fill. Pwede mong lagyan ng pattern color or pattern style like this yung mga cell mo. And lastly, pwede mong i-protect yung cell mo. Okay. So when we say protect cell, ibig sabihin lang yan, pwede mong i-lock yung cell mo in such a way na hindi siya ma-edit. Okay? Pag kinlik mo tong lock. Pag kinlik mo yung hidden, ang mangyari dyan, pag pinrotect mo yung cell mo, pag pinrotect mo yung sheet mo, yung laman ng cell mo, hindi mo siya makikita dito sa formula bar na to. Naka-hidden siya kumbaga. Okay? So all of those are part of the formatting of cells. Okay? So in the format cells dialog box, there are several sheet tabs which are number, alignment, font, border, fill, and protection. Yun na nga yung binanggit ko kanina. Okay? May shortcut sa pag-format ng mga cell. If you don't want to go pa sa home, tapos pupunta ka pa dito sa format na to, etc. etc. Kung ayaw mong gawin pa yon, what you can do is you can just right click on a given cell and then hanapin mo na lang yung format cells, which is this. So you can just see the same dialog box as what we have seen a while ago. Save lang yung laman niya. Number, alignment, font, border, fill, protection. Okay. To protect our worksheet, click review tab, and then in changes group, click protect sheet. Okay. Punta ka lang dito sa review tab, tapos dito actually ito medyo iba na yung tab sa mga later version, pero nandito naman siya yung protect sheet. Okay? Pag-click natin yung protect sheet, uh, we will be mandated to provide a password for that particular sheet. And then may mga options ka dito na i-protect yung mismong worksheet and yung mga contents of lock cells. Ibig sabihin kung ano lang yung nilock mo na mga cells, yun lang yung mga hindi na pwedeng i-edit. Okay? Yun na yung mga hindi na, I mean, yun lang yung mga hindi na editable. Normally, automatically nakalock yung mga cells. Nang sa ganun, pag pinormat mo siya, I mean, pag pinotect mo siya, hindi magagalaw yung contents ng mga cells. But, you can modify that. Pwede mo namang i-unlock yun per cell. Okay? And then, you also have some options dito na pwedeng gawin pa rin ng user or ikaw kung gusto mong galawin yung laman ng worksheet mo. Ito lang yung mga pwede mong gawin if ever na nakaprotect yung sheet mo. Okay? So dito naka-check yung select lock cells. Ibig sabihin, pwede mong i-select yung mga cells mo kahit naka-lock siya. As well as yung mga unlock cells. So basically, lahat ng cells pwede mong i-select kahit na pinrotect mo yung worksheet mo. And then other parts here, hindi na naka-check. Ibig sabihin, lahat yan hindi mo pwedeng gawin kung naka-protect yung sheet mo. Okay, hindi mo pwedeng i-format yung mga cells, yung mga columns, rows, hindi ka pwedeng mag-insert ng column, row, hyperlinks, hindi ka pwedeng mag-delete ng column, rows, hindi ka pwedeng mag-sort, hindi ka pwedeng mag-use ng autofiller, pivotal and pivot chart, hindi ka pwedeng mag-edit ng objects, scenarios, etc. etc. Ito lang yung pwede mong gawin kapag pinotect mo yung sheet mo. Pwede mo lang i-highlight yung mga lock as well as unlock cells, or in other words, lahat ng cells. Pwede mo lang silang i-highlight or i-select, but you cannot edit them kasi nga nakaprotect sila dito. Okay? That is very useful. Yung pag-protect ng worksheet natin, very useful yan, especially if yung worksheet mo maraming formula. And we don't want those formula na mabago accidentally. Okay? Sometimes gumagawa tayo ng formula dito na meron lang tayong certain na cell na gusto natin yun lang yung mapapalitan. Like for example, kunyari, meron tayong x, meron tayong x coordinate tsaka y coordinate dito. Yan. Yan. Tapos gusto natin kunin yung, for example lang, gusto natin makuha yung sum nila. Sum lang. Yan. For example lang For example, ito yung formula na gusto nating mangyari. For example lang, ayaw nating mapapakailaman yung formula na to, which is this. Ayaw natin na mabago siya accidentally or intentionally. What we can do is i-lock yung buong sheet. I mean, yung buong worksheet. Okay? Pag ni-right click natin to, tapos format cells, makikita natin, by default, nakalock na siya. Okay? Yung hidden, hindi siya naka-check. By default, nakalock na yung mga cell. So, pag pinrotect ko to, yung worksheet ko, ang isa pang shortcut for protecting worksheet is you can just right click dito sa mismong name ng sheet, right click, and then protect sheet. Pag click mo yon, lalabas lang din yung kaninang dialog box yan. So, just enter a password. Password ko na lang ay password din. Password. Yan. Tapos, naka-check to. Sabihin lang yan, naka-protect yung buong worksheet tsaka yung mga contents niya. Tapos, ang pwede ko lang magawa is i-select lang yung mga cells. Okay? So, pag in-okay ko to, okay. Yan, may lalabas na prompt na i-re-enter yung password. So, password lang din yung nilagay ko na password. And then, enter. And then, that's it. So, nakalock na to. Nakalock na or nakaprotect na yung buong worksheet ko. So, wala akong pwedeng i-edit dito. Yan. So, makikita nyo, pag gusto ko siyang i-edit dito, may lalabas na prompt dito. The cell or chart you're trying to change is on a protected sheet. To make a change, unprotect the sheet, you might be requested to enter a password. Okay? So, sabihin lang yan, hindi ko na pwedeng baguhin yung laman ng mga cells ko. Kahit i-double click ko to, may magpo-prompt. Kasi nakalock yung mga cells ko. Okay? Kahit ito, gusto kong siyang baguhin, pero hindi ko siya mababago kasi nakalock yung mga cells ko, nakaprotect. Okay? Kung gusto kong ma-edit ulit, i-unprotect ko lang yung yung worksheet. Press ko lang to ulit, unprotect, tapos enter mo lang yung password mo. Password. And then, okay na. Pwede mo nang ulit ma-edit yung mga cells mo. Okay? Pero, normally, hindi naman natin gusto lahat yung cells nakalock or uneditable. Like for example nga dito, paano kung gusto ko yung X and Y na na-edit? Ito lang yung hindi na nababago. So what I can do there is highlight them and then right click and then format cells. And then instead of nakalock sila, i-press ko lang to para hindi na sila nakalock. Nang sa ganun, pag pinrotect ko siya mamaya, pwede ko tong i-edit pa rin yung mga laman ng cell na to. Okay? And then press enter. I mean press okay. So naka-unlock na to. Ito yung sum dito kanina. Nakikita nyo, kanina nung hinighlight ko tong part na to, di ba nakikita natin yung nakalagay na formula dito. Nakikita lang, pero hindi natin na-edit. Kung ayaw mong nakikita yung mga formula dyan, you can just right-click to that cell and then format cells. And then sa protection, what you can do is, i-click mo rin yung hidden. Nang sa ganun, pag pinrotect mo yung buong worksheet, hindi na rin makikita yung mismong formula, yung nandito sa taas. And then press OK. So that pag pinrotect na natin yung worksheet, protect natin ulit. Password lang, password. So, as you can see, ang pwede ko lang magawa is maselect yung mga cells. Pero hindi ko siya pwedeng ma-edit. Press enter or OK. Tapos re-enter mo lang yung password mo, password. And then that's it. So makikita nyo, naka-highlight yung 5 na to, yung cell na to. Pero pag tinignan nyo yung formula bar, walang nakalagay na formula. Kasi nga, naka-hidden siya. Okay, pag dinouble click ko yan, pag gusto ko siyang i-edit, hindi ko siya ma-edit. Pero eto, since naka-unlock siya, pwede ko siyang ma-edit ngayon. Pwede ko siyang palitan ng 5. Eto, pwede kong palitan ng kahit anong number yan. So, automatic pa rin gagana yung formula dito. Okay? So, that is how you use protect. Okay? Pwede mong i-unlock lang yung mga part dito na gusto mong ma-edit pa rin. And then, pwedeng i-lock mo na lang yung mga cells na ayaw mong ma-edit. Especially, ayaw mong ma-edit unintentionally. Okay, so unprotect na lang natin yung buong worksheet ulit. Password. So make sure lang yung password mo hindi mo makakalimutan. Kasi pag nakalimutan mo yung password na yun, I think there's no way para ma-edit mo pa yung mga values dito sa 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 worksheet mo. Okay? Although ako may alam akong way para magamit ko pa rin yung laman ng isang worksheet kahit na nakaprotect siya. Meron akong alam na way na medyo hindi ko na muna ibubulgar for the meantime because it's a secret. Pinagbabawal na technique yun. Ano lang naman siya? Basic lang naman na movement, kumbaga. Para kahit papano, yung laman ng isang worksheet na nakalock, na nakaprotect, ma-edit ko pa rin, magalaw ko pa rin, makopy ko pa rin yung mga laman, whatsoever, ganyan. So, hindi ko na lang siya muna i-share ngayon because it is a forbidden technique. Okay? Column width and row height can be adjusted by first way by dragging the mouse, hold the left mouse button while moving when the pointer position at the boundaries of the column and row heading. So sometimes yung mga size ng mga or yung mga width ng mga column natin dito like this, mga width yan, tsaka yung mga height ng mga row natin. Sometimes gusto nating i-edit yan eh. Gusto nating luitan, gusto nating lakihan. Okay? First way para ma-edit mo yung size ng mga width or height ng mga row natin or column is by going here sa may column na header and then ilagay mo lang siya dito sa may edge ng column header hanggang sa magbago siya ng itsura like this na. Yan, pag naging ganyan na yung symbol niya, what you can do is right click tapos yan, i-drag mo na lang siya. So, ma-edit mo yung laman niya. Yan, pwede mong lakihan, pwede mong litan, depende sa'yo. Okay? And you can do the same thing sa row. Pagdating sa row, gusto mong baguhin yung height ng row, what you can do is, ganun din, hintayin mo magbago yung symbol, ilagay mo lang sa may edge between two rows, tapos click, right click, tapos drag. Yan. Okay? So that's one way to edit or adjust the width and height of columns and rows. The second way is by right-clicking the mouse on the column or row heading, and from the shortcut menu, click row height or column width, then enter desired value in the text box. So, another way para ma-edit yung column width, for example, is lagay mo lang dito sa column header, for example, yung mouse, and then right click mo. By the way, kanina left click pala yun, sorry ah. This must be left click. Left click pala to, sorry. Left click, yan. Ito, right click naman ngayon. Right click, tapos, pwede mo nang i-edit yung column width. So, pwede mong i-type yung mismong width na gusto mo. 9.44 or pwede nating ilagay mga nasa 12, ganyan, or 30. Yan, so lumaki siya. Okay, so pwedeng ganon. Pwede mo rin gawin sa row height naman. So, hintay mo lang ganito yung symbol, then right click mo, and then row height naman. And then edit mo na lang kung ano yung height na gusto mo. So, yung mga value na yan, actually parang the same lang yan dun sa value dito sa home tab, yung mga font size ng ano mo, mga text na nilalagay mo dito. Parang ganun lang din siya. Parang ganun lang din siya. Okay? Meron pang isang way, which is to go to the home tab and then go to the format, and then pwede mong baguhin yung row height or column width mo dito. Okay? Or pwede mo rin gawin is i-auto fit mo yung row height or column width doon sa laman ng cell mo. For example here, kung gusto mo naka-fit na yung size ng or yung width ng column mo dyan, you can just right click it here, right click, tapos right click, wala siya ditong wala yung isang formatting natin. Pero what you can do kung gusto mong naka auto fit, kung gusto mo naka auto fit yung laman ng cell mo sa width ng column mo, you can just go here and then double left click mo lang, double left click, and then yun, mag auto fit na siya. Or what you can do is highlight the cell and then go to the home tab and then dito sa format, tapos ito na lang, click mo na lang to, auto fit column or auto fit row. So dito, click na lang natin yung auto fit column width, and then ang gagawin ni Excel, i-fit niya lang yung width ng column depende dun sa cell contents mo. Okay? So dito, I think meron yon dito na shortcut, yung auto fit. Pero di ko lang siya makita ngayon. But those are the two techniques para naka-auto fit yung mga cells mo. You can just double left click here or just go here sa home tab, tapos format, tapos auto fit right row height or column width. Okay? So much for that. Let's now move on to the error message that you often see sa Microsoft Excel. Error message will appear if a formula is not working as it should be. The message starts with the hashtag sign or yung number sign, followed by the type of error. Okay? Sometimes you will experience here sa Excel, merong mga error messages na lumalabas, which is usually starting with the hashtag sign or yung number sign. And these are the common error messages that you will encounter here sa Excel. Unang error message is yung ganito. Yung puro siya hashtag sign. Ibig sabihin lang yan, cell contains number, date, or time that is wider than the cell width or minus result in the date and time format. Okay, oftentimes lumalabas yan kapag yung laman ng cell mo, for example, this. Oftentimes lumalabas yan kapag yung laman ng cell mo ay masyadong malaki to the point na hindi na siya nag-fit dito sa column width like this. So nakita nyo, yung laman ng cell ko masyadong malaki, masyadong white, kumbaga, to the point na hindi na siya nag-fit dito sa column width. So lumalabas yung ganong error. Or sometimes, with respect sa date or time, kapag ganun din, number, date, or time, pag hindi siya kasya sa column width, nagkaganito siyang error. Okay? Or sometimes, kapag nakapaglagay ka ng minus sa date tsaka sa time, syempre wala namang minus or negative date tsaka time, di ba? So lumalabas din siya doon. Another error message is yung hashtag NA or not available when a value is not available to a function or formula. Okay? So, oftentimes mangyayari yan if uh, meron kang uh, meron kang value dito na hindi available to that particular function or formula. Okay? Yung isa naman hashtag divisible zero, that is an error message due to division by zero. Of course kasi hindi bawal naman tayo bawal tayo mag bawal tayo mag-divide ng bawal tayo mag-divide ng any number sa zero, of course. Like for example, 8 divided by zero. So, may lalabas yung ganyang error. Kasi nga, bawal naman talaga tayo mag-divide ng any number by zero. And then, yung isa pa, yung hashtag name, Excel does not recognize text in a formula. For example, meron kang tinype nga dyan, katulad yung kaninang tinype ko. Gusto ko sana i-type yung sum, kaso hindi ko natapos, na-enter ko agad. So, lalabas yung name na error message. Kasi nga, hindi na-recognize ni Excel kung ano ba yung tinype ko. Hashtag ref, when a reference cell is not available. For example, meron akong formula dito. Dito ko siya nilagay. May x and y coordinates tayo ulit dito. For example, 1, 2. Tapos, gusto kong kunin yung sum nila plus this. Okay? For example, ganyan yung ginawa ko. Tapos, kunyari lang, nabura ko to. Nabura ko yung buong column na to. So, what will happen there is, mawawala yung reference na Excel for S371 na cell, which is this. For example lang, nabura ko to. I can just right-click that here and then delete. And then yun, lalabas na yung ref na error. Ayan o, naka-ref error siya. Bakit? Bakit naka-ref error yan? Kasi hindi na mahanap ni Excel yung cell S371. Hindi na mahanap ni Excel yung S371 na nakalagay dito kanina. Okay? So you can experience that type of error. Hashtag value, the types of arguments used in the function are wrong. The argument can be a numerical value, text, name, label, reference cell, cell range, and function. Okay? So yung hashtag value naman na yan, lumalabas yan if meron kang mali dun sa arguments ng function mo. Like for example, dito, gamitin natin yung sum na function. And then I'll try to highlight this. So tama yung lalabas kapag tama yung formula natin. But if ever nagkaroon tayo ng wrong arguments dito. Let's try other tayo na ano na function. For example, yung linis na lang sige. For example, we have a linis and then naglagay tayo dito ng y, comma, yung x. Tapos, sabihin natin mali yung nalagay ko dito na argument. Kunyari, nalagay ko dyan 1. Let's try anong mangyari. Ayun, medyo iba. Iba rin yung additional na error message niya. Nag-spill naman siya. Anyway, so from time to time siguro ma-experience nyo to. Yung value na error na to. Medyo di lang natin mapalabas for now. Pero if ever na lumabas yung value na yan, na error, uh, it just means na medyo may problem ka doon sa arguments mo or sa laman ng cell mo, especially kung formula yon, which can be in terms of the numerical value, text, name, label, etc. etc. Okay. So, yan yung mga common error message that you can experience dito sa Excel. Printing. Before printing the worksheet to paper, you can set the area by blocking the area that will be printed. You can just press Shift plus arrow keys or drag the mouse. Okay? So, pwede natin i-print kasi yung laman ng Excel natin or ng worksheet natin. We can just simply highlight kung ano yung part na gusto nating i-print. Okay, pwedeng ganyan. Or pwede mo rin naman gamitin yung shift tsaka arrow keys. Punta ka lang dito sa isang cell and then press shift. Tapos gamitin mo yung arrow keys. Yan, arrow right, arrow down. Yan. So, ibig sabihin lang yan, ito yung gusto nating i-print na area. Okay, so you can do that if you want to print a certain area dito sa sheet natin. Afterward, click the page layout tab, print area, and then set print area. So kung ito lang yung gusto mong i-print area, you can go sa page layout and then print area, ito, and then set print area. So what will Excel do here is, ito lang yung print area na gagamitin niya. Kumbaga pag nag-print ka mamaya dito sa file, tapos sa print, yung print area lang na kukunin ni Excel is yung highlight mo lang or yung sinet mo lang kanina. Okay? Yan Yan lang yung pinrint ni Excel. Yung sinet na print area. Kahit na nakikita naman yung ibang part ng worksheet dito. The print area can be seen in Office button, print preview, or press the shortcut key Control F2. So I don't think lang na ito pa yung command sa later versions ng Excel. Medyo iba na kasi yung command sa Excel. Pero if you want to see kung ano yung itsura ng print area mo na sinet, you can just go here sa file ngayon, file and then print. Tapos magkakaroon ka naman ng preview dito agad. Yan, may preview ka naman dito agad if ever. Yan, magkakaroon ka naman ng preview dito agad if ever. Okay. Or you can just simply use shortcut Control P para mabilis ka dito na mapunta sa print na window. Tapos you can just show print preview lang. And lalabas na rin yung kaninang lumalabas, which is this. Preview ng printing mo. The limits of printing page can also be specified through the View tab, page break preview instead current normal view. Okay? So, pwede mo rin siyang i-check dito sa View tab and then page break. So usually naka-normal yan. Naka-normal view yan, which is this. Yan, by default naka-normal view yung worksheet natin. Pero pag click natin yung page break preview, ang ipapakita niya lang dito is yung pinrint na, yung sinet natin na print area, which is this. Kumbaga yan lang yung piprint na Excel. Okay. So, pwede nyo rin makita dyan yung limits nung print area natin. And you can also adjust the boundaries of the printing page by dragging the mouse on the blue boundary line. So pag click natin yung page break preview, lalabas yung parang blue boundary line na to. So pwede nating i-edit yan kasi pag nilagay mo siya dito, yan magbabago yung symbol ng mouse. So you can drag that. Kung gusto mong baguhin yung ah kumbaga yung printing area mo, kung ano yung masasama lang sa print. Kung gusto mong lakihan, adjust mo lang ng ganyan, i-drag mo lang, left click tapos drag. Yan, hintay mo lang magbago yung symbol ng cursor tapos drag mo lang baba or kung saan man yung gusto mong isama sa printing. Okay. Page configuration is then set through the page layout tab and then print titles. Page layout and then print titles. Ito. Kung gusto lang natin makita or i-edit ano yung mga setup ng printing natin. Kung gusto natin makita alin lang yung ano yung orientation ng printing natin, naka-portrait ba siya or nakatayo or landscape, nakahiga. Tapos kung gusto ba nating i-scale siya, kung gusto nating i-scale lang siya ng 50%, ibig sabihin, palilitin siya na Excel ng 50%, parang ganon. Or kung gusto nating i-fit lang siya dun sa mismong papel, pwede nating ilagay yun dito or i-edit. Tapos yung paper size natin, pwede rin natin i-modify, A4, kung ano mang papel, size ng papel ang gusto mo, naka-letter ka ba, legal size, etc. etc. Quality as well. Tapos yung first page number. And then may mga additional ka pa dito na button. Yan. So, nandun din yung page print, print preview, nandun din. So, naklik ko yung print preview. Kaya magpi-print preview na naman to. Yan, bumalik siya dito sa print preview. Ayun. So, ito yung preview nung sinet ko kanina na printing area. So, in-adjust ko na kasi. And then, may other things pa dito na pwede mong i-adjust depending sa gusto mo. Yung margins ng printing area mo, pwede kang maglagay ng margin with respect dun sa papel or yung space between the edge of the paper tsaka yung edge ng mismong ipiprint mo. Pwede mong i-modify yan, yung margin sa top, left, right, bottom, sa header, sa footer, as well as yung location ng ipiprint mo relative to the paper. Pwede mo siyang i-center with respect sa horizontal direction like this. And makikita nyo kanina, nandito siya sa edge. Nung kinlik ko yung horizontally center, napunta siya sa center with respect sa horizontal. Kung gusto mo naka-center din siya with respect sa vertical, click mo rin to. So, yan, nasa gitna na talaga siya. Okay. And then, yung sa header at footer, pwede kang maglagay ng header, yung mga nakalagay sa taas ng paper na piniprint mo as well as yung footer sa baba naman. Okay. And then, yung mismong sheet, pwede mo ring i-edit dito. Kung gusto mo ba lagyan ng grid lines, black and white, etc. etc. You can find all of those options dito sa page setup. Dito sa my print tiles. Print titles. Ito. Print titles. Nasa may page layout siya. Okay. So much for that. So much for the basics of Excel. We can now move on to making charts. Okay. So this function of the Excel is one of the most useful function for us civil engineers or engineers in general. Okay? A set of data can be well delivered and communicated through a chart image showing the correlation between the data. Okay? Of course, if you have a set of data like this, it's very vague. Kumbaga, na makita mo lang siya as a set of data lang. Okay? Um, it is better if you will present set of data with respect to a chart. Kumbaga, naka-graphical presentation siya instead of just presenting set of data like this na hindi natin alam kung ano pa to. Okay, so it's better to present data graphically instead of just simply presenting the data as a raw data lang. Okay, so if you want to make a chart is created through the insert tab, which is this. Click insert and then chart. Nandito sa charts. And then, maraming charts na makikita ka dito. May iba't ibang charts na nakalagay dito. Okay? So, kung i-click natin to, yung button dito sa lower left. So, makikita natin yung mga recommended charts as well as yung lahat ng charts. Okay? So, maraming charts dito. Starting with the column chart. Ayan yung mga itsura niya ng mga column chart. Mga line chart like that, pie chart, bar chart, area chart, tapos scatter, map, stock, surface, and so on and so forth. So marami. Maraming type of chart na pwede mo magamit depende sa data kung na pine-present mo. Okay? So like for example here, if you want to present this data as a chart like this. So I'll just show you paano ko nagawa to, yung chart na to. If I want to present this data as a chart similar to this, what we can do is we can just simply go to the insert tapos mamili ka na lang dito ng kung anong chart yung gusto mo. This is just a scatter with smooth lines and markers charts which can be found here. Ito. Ito to. Nasa scatter. Insert scatter XY. So, click mo lang yan. And then, may options ka dito. You can click this. This is the scatter lang. Ito naman, this is scatter with smooth lines and markers, which is yung ginamit ko dito. So, I can click that. Simply click that. And then, may lalabas na chart like this. Although, nag-auto siya. Pero normally, wala pa yan dapat na nalalabas. I'll just try to start from scratch. Nag-auto kasi siya. Insert. And then, scatter. Tapos gamitin lang natin to. Yung scatter with smooth lines and markers. Ayan. Normally, ganyan yung lalabas. Wala. As in, walang nakalagay na kahit na ano, dun sa chart mo. Kasi wala ka pa namang data na sineselect. So to select data, you can just go here. Dito sa may chart design, may select data dito. Or pwede rin naman, i-right click mo. Right click mo na lang, tapos select data. So, pag click mo yung select data, you will be asked to specify chart data range or yung mismong ilalagay na laman ng chart mo. Ng chart mo, yeah. So, pwede mong i-highlight na lang to starting with the -1 hanggang dito. So, pwede mong i-highlight yung -1 tapos drag mo na lang papunta dito. Okay? So, ibig sabihin lang yan, yung laman ng chart mo will be coming from this data hanggang dito. Okay? And then you can just press enter, okay. And then lalabas na yung graph ng ng data mo na to. Okay? So makikita nyo medyo hindi pa sila magkamuka simply because naka-format to. Naka-format to in a different way as this. Okay? Ito kasi naka-default pa lang to. Naka-default pa lang yan. Okay? Pero commonly or basically ito lang yung magiging laman ng chart mo if you will try to graph this set of data. Okay, so you can modify this, yung chart title. Yan, pwede nating lagyan diyan example. Okay? And then Pwede rin nating i-modify yung yung mga values of the x and y coordinates, I mean x and y axis dito. So makikita mo dito sa mismong data na ginawa or chart na ginawa natin, yung mga values natin ay naka ano lang, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, ganyan. Tapos ito naka 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yun yung mga values na nakalagay dito sa axis natin. So pwede nating i-modify yon by just clicking the chart and then right click, and then we can just simply format the chart area. Okay? So kung gusto nating i-modify, ito marami tayong options dito kung ano yung gusto nating i-modify. We can modify the chart title, which is this, and then yung mga horizontal value of the axis, which are this, and then yung mga horizontal value of the axis major grade lines, and so on and so forth. So you can just experiment. You can just experiment here. So you can just click that, tapos punta ka dito sa may axis options dito sa part na to, and then you can just modify this kung ano yung bounds kumbaga ng x-axis mo. So nakalagay dito minimum natin -2, kaya -2 yung nakalagay dito. Tapos yung maximum niya 6. So kaya na 6 yung nakalagay dito. But we can modify that to be consistent with this. So ito naka -13. So ilagay natin dito -13 hanggang sa 7. Naka 7 siya. So yan, nag-auto naman siya. Nag 7 na siya. Okay? So that's for the boundary or yung bounds ng x-axis natin. And then, you can also modify the y-axis by clicking na lang to. Click mo na lang yung y-axis. Tapos, automatic naman magbabago na to, yung window dito. So, kung gusto nating maging katulad nito, from -13 to 17 siya. So, modify lang natin to. -13, ayun, 7, nag-auto naman siya. So, makikita nyo nagbago yung mga boundary niya dito or yung mga values na nakalagay dito sa axis niya. Okay? So, ano pa? Itong graph natin, yung x-axis niya medyo malaki yung weight kumbaga ng mga x tsaka y-axis niya, yung mismong line. So you can modify that, yung line na yon, by clicking here sa symbol na to and then sa line. And then iset mo na lang yung width ng line mo. You can increase that. Pwede mong i-click na lang to pataas hanggang sa makikita nyo nagbabago yung width niya. Pwede mo rin baguhin yung color. Pwede mong gawing red. Pwede mong gawing black. So, gawin na lang natin black para magkamukha dito. Yan. So, makikita nyo nag-increase yung thickness pa ng y-axis. And then, you can just click to the x-axis. So, pupunta ka na dun sa window for the x-axis. And then, you can just simply increase it. Increase mo lang yun ulit. Depende na lang sa taste mo kung gaano kakapal yung gusto mo. And then, you can just modify the color. Okay, so medyo masyado siya makapal. Gawin natin mga 3 lang. You can click down or up dito, or you can just simply type kung ano yung font width na gusto mo or yung width ng line. So gawin lang natin 3 as well as yung sa y-axis. Enter. Okay? So yan na almost magkamukha na sila maliban na lang dito sa line na to. Yung line na to, that is just the trend line. Okay? That is just a trend line. You can insert a trend line by clicking this and then click mo lang yung trend line na to. Yan. Click mo yung trend line, may lalabas na line like that. And then kung gusto mo mapalabas yung equation ng line na yan, yung -1.2045, yan din yung kanina eh. Ito yung nung pinapakita natin yung slope eh, no? Yung slope tsaka y-intercept. Yung equation na yan, nung line, that fits this set of data. Ito rin yung set of data na ginraph natin. Yung line na yon that fits that, ito yon. With an equation, y is equal to -1.2045, naka 4 decimal lang siya, plus 0.537. Okay? So, kung gusto nating mapakita yung mismong equation dito, you can just go here, tapos click mo lang to, yung arrow doon. And then more options. And then, display equation on chart. Ito. Display equation on chart. Yun. para lumabas yung mismong equation. Okay? So mukha namang magkamukha na sila. Okay? So that is how we can make a chart dito sa Microsoft Excel. So very simple pa yan. You can actually modify pa this. You can design this kung anong gusto mong itsura. Pwede mong lagyan ng kulay yan or borders. Depende na lang sa'yo. Depende na lang sa'yo kung ano pang gusto mong ilagay dyan sa chart mo. Okay? So yan yung basics ng chart. Kahit hindi ka engineer or civil engineer, you can use the chart as simple as this. But since we are talking about civil engineering here, yung mga charts na yan, we can actually use them in drawing or in our engineering drawing. Okay, every time we want to draw an engineering drawing, we can actually utilize yung mga charts na nandito sa Microsoft Excel. Okay, and that is our next topic here. We will try to utilize yung mga charts in drawing engineering drawings. Okay, chart type of XY scatter is suitable for use in civil engineering practices in giving a drawing presentation that forms lines or elements of structure. The reason is that every line can stand alone so that it can easily be modified and formulated for the intended drawing. So most of the time, if we will try to utilize the chart ng Microsoft Excel in drawing engineering drawings, most of the time we use this XY scatter, which is yung ginamit ko nga dito. Okay, yung part na to. Insert, tapos ito. Yung chart na to. Yung may XY scatter na nakalagay. So, yan yung most useful sa atin in civil engineering. And every time we want to draw an engineering drawing. A straight line of XY scatter chart type is determined by the given coordinates of both ends or the joints required for its input data. Thus, there will be a series of joint data put into a worksheet table to create straight lines. Okay, so as you can see here, nung ginamit natin yung scatter plot sa pag-plot nitong set of data na to, what we actually did here is we tend to draw set of lines. Although dito kasi smooth lines lang yung pinakita natin, pero we can actually draw set of lines here as long as we can specify the coordinates of both ends of that line. Okay, because we all know for us to draw a line, we need to provide at least two pair of coordinates. Okay, we have to specify the coordinate of the one end of the line. Kunyari ito, we have to specify the coordinate of this line, I mean of this point, as well as the coordinate of the other end of the line. As long as ma-specify natin yung dalawang coordinates na yon, we can readily draw a line in Microsoft Excel. Okay? As long as ma-specify natin yung starting joint, kumbaga, usually tawag na natin dyan joint. As long as ma-specify natin yung starting joint, kunyari 0, 0, tsaka yung end joint, kunyari 1, 1. As long as meron tayong two pair ng coordinates, we can simply draw a line in Microsoft Excel. And that is what we will utilize here in drawing engineering drawings using the scatter plot of Microsoft Excel.